Guadalcanal, an island swallowed by jungle, thick vines, endless rain, heat that never lets you rest. There were no clear front lines here, no trenches, no safe ground, only the jungle. Japanese troops believed they were masters of jungle warfare, but on Guadalcanal, for the first time, they felt something new. Fear, because the Americans didn't fight by the rules. In August 1942, Guadalcanal became the center of the Pacific War. Whoever controlled this island controlled the sea routes between the United States and Australia. The Japanese had already begun building an airfield. If completed, Japanese aircraft could cut Allied supply lines and isolate Australia completely. The United States had no choice. They launched their first major ground offensive against Japan, rushing troops straight into the jungle. The Imperial Japanese Army was confident. They had conquered vast territories across Asia. They were trained for night attacks, jungle movement, extreme endurance. Japanese officers mocked American troops. They believed Americans were noisy, slow, and dependent on supplies. Many Japanese commanders were certain, the jungle will destroy the Americans for us. But the Americans adapted faster than anyone expected. They realized something critical. You don't fight the jungle, you use it. U.S. Marines abandoned large formations. Instead, they relied on small patrols, ambushes, sudden close-range firefights. Japanese troops waited for mass attacks. Instead, they heard nothing, and then a gunfire from 10 meters away. American Marines quickly learned how Japanese soldiers thought. They studied patrol routes, sleeping positions, guard rotations. Sometimes they fired a single shot then disappeared. Sometimes they shouted or snapped branches in the darkness. Japanese soldiers stopped sleeping. Many later said, the Americans were ghosts. They came from the jungle and vanished back into it. The jungle was deadly even without combat. Malaria, dysentery, insects, constant rain. Japanese supply lines were cut by American naval and air power. Food ran out. Ammunition ran out. Soldiers grew weaker every day. Meanwhile, American forces were resupplied by sea. The balance shifted slowly, brutally. Night had once been Japan's advantage. On Guadalcanal, it became their nightmare. Americans used flares, tracer rounds, coordinated crossfire. Japanese night assaults turned into chaos. Officers were killed first. Units became disorganized. The jungle amplified fear, confusion, and panic. By early 1943, the outcome was clear. Japan could no longer hold Guadalcanal. Starving, exhausted survivors were evacuated under cover of darkness. Guadalcanal became the first major ground defeat of Japanese forces in World War I. It proved something critical. The United States had learned how to fight and win in the jungle. Guadalcanal changed the Pacific War forever. The Japanese no longer underestimated American soldiers. And the Americans understood a hard truth. Victory wasn't just about weapons. It was about adaptation, endurance, psychology. The jungle belonged to no one. But on Guadalcanal, the United States proved it could survive and dominate even in hell.